This episode is brought to you by Fox One. Watch all 104 matches of the FIFA World Cup live in 4K for just $19.99 a month with 3 days free. Build your own multi-view, choose up to 3 streams, and follow player spotlights. Stay on top of every moment with live stats, highlights, and instant replays. The FIFA World Cup, streaming live on Fox One. Offers are subject to change. See fox.com for complete terms and conditions.
Sunday morning. Well, with us today is Governor David Paterson. Well, you know, every Sunday he's with us and he tells us the way he feels, and he's one common sense friend. And Governor, the other day, on Thursday, me and you, we had lunch with the mayor of the city of New York during the Police Athletic League, and you spoke right after the mayor. And give us your pulse of the situation.
Well, I think the mayor was very pleased to be invited, particularly by the Police Athletic League. He made plenty of historical references to the Athletic League, which was founded 112 years ago. He talked about how at one point, the kids would open up the fire hydrants. This would happen in a lot of neighborhoods, and then the police would come and either take the kids downtown or shut the fire hydrant off or something like that. And now the Police Athletic League intervened and got the kids and the police to work together. And now you don't see that. You actually see streets that are called play streets, where the fire hydrants are on. They're not as strong as they are in the other streets, and there's something for the kids to do. So he really talked about some of the really thoughtful ways that the Police Athletic League, run by yourself and some really wonderful people, have done for the children of New York City. He did not talk about anything about the city or the budget or that kind of thing, and I thought that was a wise thing for him to do. He didn't want to go into what could theoretically have been a hostile territory and start talking about some of the activities that the candidates that he supported talked about, like the candidate that suggested that what we're beginning to see is the end of Western culture. And the
candidate that won the primary that ran against Esperlat, who represented the Hispanic community in Congress, lost, and then the candidate that beat him went on and said some ridiculous things. What do you say?
Yeah, when you beat somebody, you don't dance on their grave. You just tell them, listen, sorry that this had to happen, but the people have spoken. And that's how you talk about that. And, John, I'm glad you brought that up, because this is coming up more and more. I remember the fierce battles that we would have politically back in the 80s when I first got elected to office, and different candidates ran and that kind of thing. But there was always kind of a civility, even when we as Democrats thought the Republicans were going too far and vice versa. But now you've got these people, even when they win, they're yelling and screaming about something that it is that they don't like. And, we had Bill O'Reilly on the morning show on Thursday, and he was talking about this lack of civility that occurs not just in politics, but in everyday life. And he's basically blaming it on the way we're raising children, that we need to raise children to respect their elders, to respect the teachers, to respect people they work with. And now we have situations where maybe the children aren't getting that right education. But I think that what galls me the most is these people who go on television and say these things that are so horrifying, even when they won. And I will say this, the amount that the candidate who beat Espaillat got was 32,000 votes. She had 32,000 votes. There are 700,000 people who live in that district, which means that she got 5% of the people that live there to vote for her. I would suggest that within 2 years, a real organized campaign gets put together, and she can take her 5% and go back to wherever she was before she ran the first time.
Gotcha. And socialism. Mayor Mamdani won a big victory in New York three congressional candidates running as as socialists.
Well, John, I think one of the problems is when we vote. So we voted, this past Tuesday, but the primaries used to be in September, and that was a much better reading of where the public is. Right now, we're in late June. People are making vacation plans. The weather's nice. They don't want to go out and leaflet for their candidates and that kind of thing. If this election had been held in September, it might have had a different outcome. But leaving the outcome as it is, it's definitely a message. And in the Democratic Party, we better get that message and turn it around before we become extinct.
Understood. And anything else you want to tell? Talk to people on this Sunday morning.
Well, I think that as we look at the political landscape for the next few months, it's going to be very interesting how things go. The president wants to substitute the housing bill for his bill that requires citizenship to be a voter in the country. And it'll be interesting to see how that all works out. I think that he will back down on the housing bill, but I also think he'll get his proof of citizenship for anyone who's voting in an election.
Understood. Governor David Paterson, thank you for your common sense, and thank you for always being on Sunday. And we'll catch up with you again real soon.
I'm just following you, John.